London Stadium, my friend. West Ham United beaten Arsenal twice this season in the league and then in the cup. They didn't beat them today, mate. I mean, Arsenal... we were watching the game, weren't we? And 20, 25 minutes in, we're going, oh, interesting. Arsenal's shape and the positional play was really interesting. We're saying, okay, this is different.
It's different, yeah.
See how this works. And then all of a sudden, they clicked together set pieces, and we'll talk about those a little bit over the course of the weekend. Yeah. It's so important to this Arsenal team. They get them the first goal, Rob, and then the moment they get the first goal, they're off. They're in another gear. Oh. And West Ham were not even second best, third, fourth, fifth
blown
best.
Away. No answers.
Yeah.
No answers, which it got a little bit embarrassing towards the end. But the football that Arsenal played, my favourite game of the weekend. I know it's a stunning headline of being 6-0 London derby.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed that today, Rob, because remember the first 5 or 10 minutes?
Yeah.
We were having a little flipping neck.
Where's the?
Because we expected Havertz up front.
Correct.
We expected, the last game against Liverpool. It was Liverpool 3-1 victory, wasn't it, on Sunday? Was so different.
Very different. Look, Jorginho next to Rice.
Very different. Odegaard and
Havertz.
It was like Liverpool type football.
Yeah,
high pressure. Brilliant. And to go totally away from that today in a different system with Trossard as a false nine and Havertz back into midfield. And Arsenal,
Odegaard going up to start a press.
Yeah, so when they don't have the ball, Odegaard goes up and it's like a 4-4-2 without the ball. And with possession, Arsenal, they're into this 4-3-3. And the first 5 or 10 minutes, Rob, because the ball changed hands a lot, we're like, where are they? So it got a little confusing. The game settled down.
Absolutely.
And I just thought it was an exhibition of really high-level modern coaching on football and angles and possession and combinations and outnumbering and false nine and Trossard coming 30 yards back to find spaces in midfield to get turned to knit things together. Can you imagine if it was me or you in midfield?
But I want to stop you there. I want to stop you there before you go about you and I, because you and I, it'd be 20 years ago now playing Premier League football. It doesn't seem that. Let's talk about, you've just hit a point that I thought is really important. Was it new football versus old football? Was it new football that what he was doing, and you say the overnumbering that against old football where we're set solid, this is our shape? Oh, actually, in that shape, they were getting pulled all over the place.
Yeah, it was great question, and it is. It's new, tactical, cool, trendy coaching against. Now, listen, I want to finish off saying that we say old football, the structured, pragmatic football. That's not dead. And we've seen West Ham United do great things and win games against a lot of the big sides they've already beat this year, Rob. So it's not dead. But today, it was new, fluid and creative, and I don't know. It was bright coaching that picked apart. And by the way, before the game with Ward-Prowse, Souček and Edson Alvarez, I'm thinking that's kind of strong in there for West Ham.
Yeah, the three. Yeah.
Arsenal aren't going to find a way through the middle. They're going to have to probably go in the wider areas. I said it before the game. Wrong. Because they still picked them apart with Trossard. Trossard made movements and it outnumbered West Ham United. And I'm going to continue and go as far as to say Leandro Trossard is my underappreciated performer this weekend. You know how I feel about him.
You love Trossard. I mean, if he gets a Valentine card off you on Tuesday...
I think he's a little diamond. And you know last season, Robbie Earle, when they were
struggling for goals.
And he came in the side and he made a difference. And I think I said to him, keep him in the side. Keep him in the team. Mikel Arteta, and I get it, went back to his big signing, his difference maker for Man City and Gabriel Jesus. I would say it again. Now, listen, this is somebody that is not on the same level as Mikel Arteta, Robbie Earle.
Your job's not on the line, and people won't criticise you
and
if
the next game, Arteta might see it totally differently, like he's seen the last two games, and he might see something different. And Trossard might be on the bench. He might be back into midfield. I just love it when Trossard plays up front, false nine, and I think he's better than what people think in general. And maybe, just maybe, a little underappreciated Mikel Arteta in terms of how he stacks up against your Havertz and your big money guys in Jesus, that he's a little bit from Brighton. We'll use you when we want you. I think he's better than that, Rob. I think he's better than that. And if you put him on a bigger pedestal, an expectation level, the goal, the Saka penalty was a great example of the reason for the false nine.
Yeah.
He comes 20 yards away from the front line, deep into midfield, And what does that do? It makes the centre-backs for West Ham United.
Where's our striker?
And all of a sudden, before you know it, Saka and Martinez making runs in behind. The ball comes over the top. Saka makes a run. It's really, really smart stuff. And everything it seemed that Arteta wanted out of the game from Arsenal tactically ended up being sweet as a nut.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with Trossard. I know you got Trossy love, but I totally get it. Brings a different dimension, disrupts the organisation. Two big centre-backs today, everything. Zuma and Aguerd, don't know where they are, got nobody to play against. It is interesting, and you made a point when we were talking, I think, just after the game, and we talked about the set pieces that we'll go to, and we talked about that, Man City, and we'll get to them, have Earle and Haaland. So when things ain't going well, or you need an option, you go to big man who gets you 16 Premier League goals. Arsenal haven't got that. They're going to have to do it in different ways. They're going to have to get, Saka continues to be a little goal source on one side. Martinelli's back in form and looking a bit more threatening. Your Trossard, your Havertz, your Odegaard, your Rices are going to have to all going to have to pitch in.
Let me just jump in real quick. And to be fair, right, to everybody out there listening, I have said, I don't think they can win it without a 20. Forward. Yeah, right. That's how strongly that I certainly felt about. God, they need a real flipping top scorer. Anyway, back onto set pieces.
Yes. So, but their striker, their 16-goal man, is set pieces. Is Nicolas Jover, who works on the training ground every week. Every time we watch Arsenal, there's a different set piece routine or a variation of set piece routines that works that get them chances of goal. So somebody taking a kick. And somebody being in the right place, and a number of people who all know their roles, has created 16 goals for Arsenal. That's more than any team in the league. I mean, the Ben White dark horse. He could have been captain of the Wimbledon team. Ben White. He's got the proper dark art of sneaking along the line, not looking like he knows what he's doing. Oh, I've just bumped into the goalkeeper. I didn't realise you were there. As Saliba comes in and heads the ball in.
And Trossard's done that before, by the way.
Trossard did it against Crystal Palace, against Joachim Andersen. Did it twice for Gabriel.
Does your set-piece coach of Arsenal say, thanks, Leandro?
They might be looking for you.
They might be looking for you.
Yeah.
Benjamin. I've got a job for you.
Yeah.
And he might rotate it around a little bit.
Absolutely. Everybody knows what they're doing, Rob. Everybody's cannot. The Arsenal, you did a great breakdown with one of our guys in tape, where Arsenal are ahead of the West Ham back foot.
In offside.
They're not in an offside position, waiting for the free kick to come in. They've got a brilliant, and the timing of it's excellent, where they run back to be level to get onside, and then attack the ball. And you did a great breakdown of Ben Johnson, a younger defender who probably is feeling uncomfortable that the Arsenal players are closest to goal. He panics, Rob. He goes back. He plays them all on. He shouldn't go back. And Gabriel gets the header. Yeah. Now, all that work from Arsenal is their 16-goal-a-season man. That's where it comes in different dimensions.
And that's very, very interesting, isn't it? If they can produce another goal scorer in set pieces, which they're doing right now, that's amazing. It's something to watch out for, and I hope everybody listening and watching is going to look out for that. Correct. Those little movements. It's working so much of the time. Yeah. And I think, it's what you might expect of a professional football nowadays, that they have specialists to take advantage of every little advantage you can get. And set pieces is it's boring, by the way. I mean, how many Fridays? How many Fridays? Oh. But it's obviously it's a different level now, and it's probably digital. There's probably videos or iPads about where they are, and this is what you're doing this week, and graphical presentations of their set pieces. But it's working, and for that we give credit to Mr. Nicolas Jover.
Great day for Arsenal, and
really good, impressive. Really
West Ham United, Rob. Just on because I wrote a note on my West Ham, and this was before the game. I said, we're back in that period where if West Ham win, great David Moyes. If West Ham lose, is it time for a change? A 6-0 loss at home doesn't help the case for a West Ham, more David Moyes. I think you made a point, and I'll let you make the point, where you don't feel yet it's the right time to make any kind of changes with Moyes. And just explain, as you did, why.
Yeah, so his contract's up at the end of this season. For me, this is how it would pan out for me. Yeah. I'd extend David Moyes. I'd give him a 2-year contract. Okay. And I'd see where this David Moyes West Ham project continues. And whether it continues going in the same path. I think there'll be a natural end to David Moyes at West Ham United. There'll be a natural acceptance that, this is kind of it now. I think it'll be widely accepted.
And you don't think that's now?
No, I don't. Okay. Because there's Because he's still done great things. He's still. I know they've had a bad run. They're still sat 8th.
Yeah, they missed Pacator as well.
They missed Pacator in the last 16 in the Europa League. Yeah. There's still. I want to see more from David Moyes. Mm-hmm. Now, why I say that as well is that West Ham. I know what West Ham fans want, right? Yeah. And that's expansive, open, attacking football. The next manager and the next managers of West Ham United is going to be that type of person. Because the current crop of managers, coaches doing good work, or up-and-coming coaches through lower leagues or international football is that style. Yeah. There isn't many David Moyes styles left to come back. Okay. So my point is, let's see this out to the conclusion, and that might be 6 months, could be a year, could be 18 months, because after that, you are going to get what you possibly want. And there's no regrets that David Moyes was let go too early.
And are you in that time starting to look and think about who that guy might be? Course. And the other thing I'd have to say is, and you're pretty confident, I'm assuming, that he ain't going to take you down. We're not going to be bottom 3 with David Moyes.
That's right. And if that starts, that's when the natural end comes, Rob. Right now, they're fine. Yeah. They're obviously going to be great. A European Cup last year, maybe another European run. It's just too early, yeah? I don't want any regrets of West Ham fans when they get somebody else come in.
We saw this at Crystal Palace a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah,
remember
when
Hodgson came out and he went in.
So I think there'll be I think he's earned the right to continue. Let's see where it goes with a little bit of a pragmatic style. After that, things will be because of the way the trends are going in coaching.
Good point.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock. And be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you there.